It's called the community of interest principle, and really it is based on the fact that the community, the CARICOM community, indeed the wider Caribbean community, could just as easily see Bermuda, which is in a different band from the rest of the membership of CTO, could very well see Bermuda as being the entry point, in which case, yes, the Caribbean would be rebanded and put into a category that is less punitive than we are now. It's got the attention of the British government. It's one of those principles that was discussed in a very frank manner with Prime Minister Gordon Brown when he came to the Caribbean, specifically for the Commonwealth Heads of Government Conference, which was in Trinidad in November. So that's one of the arguments that we've placed on the table. It's not the only one by any means, but it is one which we think is gaining some traction, and we are comfortable that the matter has really reached the attention of the UK's decision makers at the highest level. As Mr. Thorne was suggesting earlier, it's an economic issue, and no one in the Caribbean is saying that we are questioning the right of a sovereign government, i.e. the UK government, to impose a tax. We are just saying that it is in our best interest to make sure that the tax is not punitive, is not discriminatory, does not disadvantage the Caribbean unnecessarily. Yes, it's an economic measure that I believe is projected to raise somewhere in excess of £2 billion annually. But if it adversely affects arrivals to the Caribbean, then certainly the amount of income that is proposed by the UK government to be derived from the tax is going to be reduced. So this could very well become a revenue negative move on the part of the UK government.
Has there been any value attached to the cost fallout for the Caribbean from this? It's only gone up a few months now, but in terms of looking at on an annual basis?
Well, I think Mr. Winfield Griffith and his group are going to have a great deal more to say about that as they do more research on it and they survey more visitors on the subject. We might have pointed out earlier that in May or June, I believe it was, of last year, we had a survey of 1,703 visitors to the Caribbean to find out exactly how they would respond were they to be a significant increase in the cost of travel. At that time, I believe they paid somewhere around an average of £385 to get to the Caribbean. And one of the things that the results of the survey showed was what their tipping point was. Once the cost of getting to the Caribbean went past £500, their likelihood of coming to the Caribbean fell quite significantly. But as Mr. Griffith pointed out earlier, that was one group of visitors who come at that particular time of year, the summer visitors. So to answer your question properly, we need to get a full picture by surveying winter visitors as well, so that we can have some clearer idea of what the possible impact is really going to be of the APD, but we know it's not going to